race to become a championship decider, this one. We'll see how it plays down.
And is Sanson going to take the lead? Yes, he does. He goes right round the outside of Favour.
And that's for Resty. Whoa!
Side by side, they're going to be so close.
Oh, dear, oh dear.
First Porsche win for 17 years.
That is one of the best last laps I have seen ever.
Hello and welcome to the pit lane at Donington Park. I'm Jake Sanson, a Cadbury's cream egg in human form. And welcome to another edition of Ask Jake on Downforce TV. Lots more questions have come in and we've decided to use the backdrop of the FIA Formula E test session as a great basis to get your questions answered. So let's have the first question then of this Ask Jake vlog. It comes to us from Marcus Edwards. He wants to know, should third F1 cars per team be brought in just for newcomers? I think that's a cracking idea, Marcus. Exactly what Formula One needs. It works brilliantly in MotoGP with the wildcard system. F1 needs to be doing exactly the same thing. It's time to move with the times. Perfect. Now, let's have a question from Tom Smith. He wants to know, which is the best karting series you commentate for? Super 1, Easy Kart or FKS? That is a really difficult question to answer though, Tom. It's a bit like saying, which is the best breakfast cereal in the morning? Super 1 has got that longevity, that lasting brand. Easy Kart is a great one-make series doing something a little bit unique, a little bit different. And FKS is doing the budget car approach. It's actually doing something very, very different in the world of top-line motor racing. So, all of them have something unique to bring to the table. I love all three of them equally for very different reasons. Now, let's have a question from Sam Birch. He wants to know, what's your favourite racetrack in the world? Wow. Really, really tough question to answer. There's so many different race circuits with so much to bring to the table. Probably Spa. I think it's still right up there as the top. That or Suzuka. Two very, very cool race circuits. So let's see what Sam Thomas wants to know. He says, if you could choose any car on the planet to race in, what would you choose? Actually, in the 21st century, one of these would be a pretty good bet. Just take a look at the Andretti here in the pit lane. It is so much more dynamic than some of the other single-seaters out there in the motor racing world. And this year, they're just going to get bigger and better in terms of their speed, their technology, and their development. I have to say, if I was famous enough and talented enough as a racing driver to get asked to do anything, probably right now it would actually be Formula E. Right, let's discuss another anonymous question that's come in. With F1 2014 and 2015 being such bad video games, what would make a perfect F1 game for you? That's a really good question, actually, because the graphics of the current games are stunning. Don't change them at all. 2013 had that classic F1 mode, which was really, really exciting. I really enjoyed that, so let's bring that back into the mix. 1997's F1 game on the PlayStation, you could change the names of drivers. I quite like doing that. Either that, or bring in a sort of a FIFA-style mixing up of the teams and drivers. That would actually be a bit more realistic. Finally, put GP2 and GP3 in the games, for goodness sake. We need a little bit more variety in our video games, and so many fans would play it if it was GP2 and GP3. If you could choose one other sport to commentate on all the time, what would it be, asks Max Phillips. Well, I have to say, at the moment, I don't really want to do anything else. This sport is so exciting and so vibrant at the moment. Why would you choose anything else, especially when the sport is so exciting and diverse? If you have to give me one other sport to commentate on, I'd actually go for tennis, but I don't think you'll be getting me anywhere away from motor racing anytime soon, especially when it's as an exciting and intense spectacle as it currently is. And it's just getting better, which is good to know. Right, another anonymous question has come in. Now you have an Xbox One, which racing game is better, Forza 5 or Project Cars? Again, that is such a cruel question to ask me. How am I supposed to answer that? They both have very, very different elements to them as entities. I mean, Project Cars has come in with all bells and whistles, claiming it to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and it really is. But it's still missing a few tiny elements that I would like to see as a racing game. I mean, Forza 5 has the paint your own car however you like option, and it's got a great mixture of world tracks, not just the British ones. Both games melded together would be the greatest video game in the history of mankind. So hopefully we'll get to see that one day, either in Project Cars 2 or Forza 6. One thing I will say for Forza 5 though is that you get to play with these, the FIA Formula E cars. They are very cool and about as fast on the game as they are about to be this season as well. So there's plenty to excite me in terms of the current crop of video games, and with these cars currently making their way into the top line second gen consoles, it is great to see so much action in my video gaming nowadays. One last question before we wrap up here at Donington Park. How likely do you think it is that you'll get the Top Gear job? I don't know. Ask about 450,000 other applicants and see what they think. I don't know. To be honest, it's a great TV show. It's a great opportunity. If they were to ask me, brilliant. Sign me up straight away. But I'm having quite a lot of fun these days in these pit lanes, actually. So either way, I'm a very happy man. So as the reigning world champion in FIA Formula E heads out onto the circuit for another few laps, we're going to say goodbye for now on Ask Jake on Downforce TV. Do keep your questions coming in to me and I'll make sure they get answered on the next edition. Ask.fm/Jake Sanson or on Twitter @Jake Sanson. See you next time.
Also the Nigerian Sarah